You can buy or sell just about anything on the internet, but before you sell something, Local 12 troubleshooter Howard Ain has some advice so you don't get ripped off by con artists.
The main thing you need to worry about when selling something online is scammers. These are people who have only one thing in mind when they contact you. Computers, sports memorabilia, designer clothing, and cars. These are just a few of the items offered for sale every day on online auction sites. As the popularity of these sites has grown, even rare antiquities such as coins and banknotes are available. The common thread, all of these items at one time or another are being used to lure unsuspecting victims into a scam.
And what they were doing was selling collectible and vintage banknotes through an online auction site.
Legitimate sellers were selling those banknotes, but the con artist was on the other end purchasing them.
The buyer would agree to buy those banknotes. Upon receipt, some time would pass, and then they would say, I never received the item, or I only partially received some of the items that I'd received, initiating a process that's called a credit card chargeback.
The scheme worked. Postal inspectors started tracking the case and found hundreds of victims and $120,000 in losses.
The individual used dozens and dozens of credit cards, used various user IDs through the auction sites to kind of mask their identity. And that's kind of what allowed this fraud to be perpetrated over a lengthy period of time.
Inspectors recommend if you are selling a unique item on the internet,
take a picture of the item or the items that you're selling. A lot of times the item is very unique and may have a serial number.
Also keep any receipts from the post office as well as any correspondence between you and the seller. Inspectors say consumers need to protect themselves against these scam artists who are motivated by one thing:
getting money from other people through lies and deceit.
The suspect in this case has been charged with mail fraud and is awaiting trial. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. Howard Ain, Local 12 Troubleshooter.
If you feel you're the victim of fraud in an online transaction, contact the state's Attorney General's office and the Postal Inspector.